Okay, so let's just dive right in. If you've ever looked at your marketing to-do list and felt, well, completely overwhelmed, like you're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks, then this is for you. We're going to break down how to go from that total chaos to a clean, structured system that's actually focused on making money, all based on the fantastic advice from Chantal Gerardy.
And this quote, it really hits the nail on the head. That feeling of drowning in tasks, of being busy all day but having nothing to show for it, that's not because you're not talented enough. It's a huge sign that your system, or, lack of one, is the real problem here.
I'm guessing it does. For so many of us, this is just the daily grind, right? You're working hard, you're putting in the hours, but you're just not seeing those results. So what does that actually look like in the real world?
Yeah, we call this survival mode. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The whole post and pray strategy. Getting sucked into Canva for like 3 hours, tweaking a font that nobody will even notice. Starting that awesome new funnel, but never quite finishing it. It's just a bunch of random tasks that make us feel busy, but they aren't actually pushing the business forward.
So why on earth do we get stuck in this loop? It's not just about being a little disorganized. Turns out there's a deeper, more human reason we gravitate towards these easy, low-impact tasks. We're actually avoiding the stuff that really matters.
Let's completely reframe how we think about procrastination. It's not that you're lazy, not at all. It's really a defense mechanism. We are actively avoiding the tasks that are directly tied to bringing in money because, well, those tasks are scary. They carry responsibility. If you call 10 leads and nobody buys, that feels personal. It feels like failure. So we'd rather just design a pretty graphic instead. And this really shows the two different worlds we live in as marketers. On one side, you've got the frog, the big, ugly, important tasks that actually drive revenue, like rewriting a sales page or picking up the phone to call leads. And on the other side, the distractions, the fun stuff, the creative stuff, choosing the perfect hex code. It feels safe, but it's not what pays the bills.
So, where do we start? The solution begins with a simple but powerful mindset shift. You have to tackle that big, ugly, revenue-driving task first. First thing in the morning, before you get sucked into anything else. You have to, as they say, eat the frog.
This is the question. This is what you need to tape to your monitor and ask yourself every single day. Are my actions today about what feels creative and comfortable, or am I focused on the one or two things that will actually move the needle on revenue? Because real growth lives in that uncomfortable space. That's your frog.
Okay, a disciplined mindset is absolutely crucial, but let's be real, it's not going to be enough by itself. You need a system, a structure to support that new habit. And that brings us to part 2 of the solution, building a workflow that actually makes it easier to focus.
Chantal makes such a great point here. Society loves to glorify multitasking, but the science is clear. It's a myth. It's incredibly inefficient. Every single time you jump from your email to Canva to your social media scheduler, your brain has to completely stop and restart. That's called context switching, and it literally drains your energy and torpedoes your productivity.
So this is how the pros do it. They don't just try to fit marketing in. They use time blocking. They build a calendar with dedicated, sacred blocks of time for specific functions. You've got your time for planning, your deep work time for implementation, your non-negotiable time for lead gen, even time for reporting and learning. This isn't about being rigid. It's about protecting your focus so the important stuff actually happens.
But even the most perfect calendar can fall apart if your whole workflow is full of friction. And the biggest source of that friction, the thing that just kills our ability to make decisions, it's clutter. And we need to tame all 3 types of it.
Think about this. Digital clutter. When you spend 20 minutes just trying to find your own logo file. Then there's mental clutter, that constant nagging to-do list that's just rattling around in your brain instead of being written down. And finally, calendar clutter, where your schedule is just a reaction to whatever email just came in. All 3 of these create decision fatigue, and that is the absolute enemy of getting things done.
And this right here is such a fundamental shift in how you need to think. Getting organized is not boring admin work. It is a core part of your strategy. Because when you get rid of the chaos, you free up so much mental energy that you can finally pour into actual execution.
So you've got the mindset down. You're building the workflow. There is one final, crucial piece to this puzzle. You have to know if what you're doing is working. And that means we have to stop relying on feelings and vanity metrics and start looking at cold, hard data.
I mean, this metaphor is just perfect, isn't it? Of course you wouldn't. That would be insane. You need to know how fast you're going, how much gas is in the tank, and yet so many of us are trying to run our marketing completely blind. We're just guessing, and guessing is not a strategy.
This is what professional marketing looks like. You should be able every single Monday to fill out a simple dashboard like this, not with feelings, but with actual numbers. How many leads came in? What was our email open rate? What's our conversion rate on the sales page? Making data-driven decisions is the only way you can actually improve over time. And let's be crystal clear about this. The goal of marketing is not to get more likes. It's not to get more followers. The goal is revenue, period. Every single thing you do, every metric you track, has to eventually connect back to that one single goal.
So how do we pull all of this together? We take the mindset, the workflow, and the measurement, and we combine them into a complete marketing operating system. This is what turns your marketing from a series of random, chaotic acts into something intentional, predictable, and scalable.
And this isn't some abstract concept. We're talking about real, tangible things. Documented workflows so someone else could do the task. Reporting templates so you're always consistent. A reliable weekly rhythm so you're never wondering what to do next. This is the infrastructure that lets your marketing run like a well-oiled machine, whether you feel motivated that day or not. So ultimately, the answer to feeling overwhelmed in your marketing isn't about finding more creative ideas. It's about discipline. It's about building a strong structure, kind of like a trellis for a climbing plant, that guides all of your efforts and helps them grow in the right direction.
When you boil it all down, it comes back to these 4 pillars. You need clarity on what actually moves the needle. You need a consistent rhythm to your week. You need a solid structure for all your tasks and assets. And you need consistent measurement to guide you. That's it. That's the foundation.
And we'll leave you with this one final challenge. Let's be honest, building this kind of system isn't always easy. It's not always comfortable. It forces you to eat the frog. But the businesses that win, the ones that actually grow, are the ones that consistently choose that uncomfortable revenue-driving work over the easy, comfortable distractions. So the only question left is, which one are you going to choose?